If you're watching this video, more than likely you might be thinking about quitting day trading. And I want you to realize that this thought is very normal. There is periods in your trading career that you ask yourself, why are you doing this? You ask yourself, why does it have to be so hard? You ask yourself, is this a scam? Is this real? Will this actually work? Am I actually gonna be profitable? Like, I see these people making money, why is it not me? And I can tell you that's true the way you think, because I've been in that place. And the deepest time that we're thinking is usually tends to be at nighttime. When we're going to drive at night, that's why I'm here. When we're just sitting in our bed at night, we just blew an account that day. Or maybe, as we're trading Asia, because we want to get rich quick, Asia just opened up, I want to take a trade and pass this account, get my payout, I'm one win away. We rush that, and we lose it all. And then you go into these deep thoughts thinking, is this worth it? Is it worth the struggles? And honestly, for most people, it is not worth it. For most people, you're better off sticking to exactly what your parents told you, get a job, go back to school, stick to your career. For most people, it is not worth it. And it's not because they're not smart, they don't have what it takes, it's because they don't have the passion. If you are in trading, you need to have some sort of passion or some sort of why. Now, the passion doesn't have to be like you like numbers. People love to think that. People say, hey, I'm trading, you gotta be smart in math. Like, no, that's not at all how this goes. The passion you need to have is not really even about trading. It needs to be either about trading, or it needs to be a passion that's like, I don't want to work a 9 to 5. I want to drive, a 3RS. I want to drive a Ferrari. Like, I want to do all those things. And that's really where like the passion comes in of wanting to not want like a regular life. That's where like the true passion is going to come in. The true passion comes in having a why that's so powerful that you don't just want to stick to a regular job, but you want to do something more. You want to do something different. You want to prove other people wrong. And that was like a big one for myself, at least when I first was starting out. I told myself, I want to do something that's different. I want to prove other people wrong. Everybody's telling me I cannot do this. I have this chip on my shoulder that makes me want to do this. I have this chip on my shoulder that makes me want to tell people that I could find a different path, that I could find something that others couldn't. Now, what you have to do to get away from the mindset that's like, hey, I want to quit, and the fact that I want to quit, it keeps making me want to do mistakes, because what I feel like is not going to make me want to quit is getting results fast, getting a payout fast, flipping an account fast. But the reason is that getting the payout, making the money is our end goal. And we're doing all these positive steps to get to the end goal, but we're not rewarding ourselves until we get to the end goal. We're not looking at all the positive that we're making. We're not looking at all the progress to getting 1% better. And we're seeing everything as a failure, because each day that's passing and did not get a payout and did not make money, it's a failure. So you have to change the mindset and write down somewhere, this is personally what I did, all the steps that it takes to get to whatever your goal is, get a payout, make $10,000 that month, whatever your goal might be, even just getting funded. Write down below, or on your notepad, whatever, all the steps that you need to do to get it. And each step, whether it's, hey, find a winning plan, find a winning strategy. Maybe some of you guys don't even have that. Or hey, don't tilt. Don't take more than 5 trades a day. Don't take more than three trades a day. Follow my risk management plan. Set a daily loss limit. All these small things that you might think are pointless, they're just there, you don't care, they add up. And when you put them all together, and when you get to each little step, then you before you know it, like, hey, I got the payout is here. I don't even know how I did it. It feels like maybe I just got lucky, but no, you didn't. It was all the little steps that before you were taking for granted, that before you were not understanding, that they added up. So if you take each step and you reward yourself, or you tell yourself, hey, I'm doing the right thing, and you stop focusing on only the outcome of losing or winning, then everything changes. Then everything gets better, everything gets easier, everything feels like it starts going in your favor. Everything feels like you got this weight off your shoulder. Because at least for me, I'll tell you guys something happened to me, is when I first started trading, I would feel stressed out. And I think a lot of you guys can relate to this. I would feel every day that I wasn't achieving, I wasn't gonna make it. I felt like really heavy. If I had a red day, it would ruined my whole rest of the day, whatever I was doing. If I had a bad Friday or a bad week, it would ruin my weekend. And you need to find a way to get out of that mindset. You need to find a way that you're always putting down yourself and focusing on the negative instead of looking for the positive, the good things that you did. Because there's a lot of good things that you do. And I know you, I don't know you, but I know you do them. Because you wouldn't be here, you wouldn't be watching this video, you wouldn't be putting in the extra time. You'd be on Fortnite, you'd be playing games, you'd be going out on the weekends, but you're there, you're back testing, you're putting in the work, you're showing up to the, even just showing up to the markets every single day. To the few hundred people that we're live in the mentorship with every single day, I always see the similar names out there. And when I start seeing the guy that for 6 months in a row, he's showing up every day, putting in effort, asking questions, I know that guy's gonna make it. And it's just simply a matter of time. Whether it's in 6 months or 2 years, I know he's gonna make it. It took me about 4 years to be profitable. I promise you guys, 95% of people watching this don't even know what trading was 4 years ago, let alone that. But I had that mindset, it's like no matter what happens, whether I go down and I lose it all, which obviously would not be ideal, at least I know that I went down swinging. I went down putting the best possible effort. It was the last thing I want is in 20 years knowing I did not put in the most effort. And I've thought about that, and at first I was like, you know, when people say that, it's kind of cringy, it's corny. But the more I thought about that, I thought about other things that I started and then I quit. Like I went to the gym for a few months and now I'm very active. I was thinking this a few years ago and I was like, wow, I was going to the gym every day for 3 months. I was making progress. Then I went on a trip and I got out of that routine and I stopped going to the gym. Where would I have been if that, you know, when I started, I didn't give up. And in 2 years now it's been 2 years, how good would I have looked? Or think about, or even with soccer, right? I started playing soccer about 4 years old. And I remember exactly when I started playing soccer, why I quit. It was around 4 or 5. And I got hit in the face with a soccer ball during one of the practices. So 3 days in, I'm a kid, right? But I get hit in the face with a soccer ball. Because of that, I give up and I stopped playing soccer altogether. And that ends my kind of soccer career. Now, what if I just from when I was 5 and I just kept playing till I was 15, when I went to college or high school? What if I become a pro? Maybe, probably not, but now I would never know that. It's always stuck in the back of my mind. What if I'd practice every day? Because I didn't love it. I wasn't there practicing every day. So I was like, well, what if I just what would my life had been like? What if maybe I did have that in me? What if I could have made that dream happen? But now I'm never gonna know. And I was trying all these different things that would give up after a few months or a year. And I never really was able to know would I being successful at that. And I was like, I'm tired of doing that. I'm tired of every single time that I start something, I don't see it through. I don't finish it. I give up. I never really fully see what my potential is. And I was like, for one thing, and that was trading, because I really loved trading. I loved what it could give you. It wasn't like a business that I had to go shop to a 9 to 5, work for somebody, deal with customers. Hey, me versus myself, I can do this. I can do this from anywhere. I can do this from just about any country, any time zone, anything of the sort. I was like, let me give this my best effort that I can. And I know I can do this because it only needs a couple hours of commitment a day, even less sometimes. So that was my reasoning. And that was the reasoning that you gotta have. And that needs to be the mindset that you gotta have. See it through. Give yourself the 2-3 years. Give yourself the highest chance possible to make it successful. And that applies not just showing up and taking a trade. That applies with the journaling, the back testing, everything else. Because the more things you can do to make it easier, improve yourself faster, the higher chance you have of achieving it. So if I told you, I was like, hey, you want to be a professional athlete? But you have one athlete that's like, hey, you get 1 hour of training a day. But then you have another athlete that's like, hey, you get 3 hours of training a day. You get the best trainers. You get recovery. You get massages. You get the best nutrition. Who do you think is more likely to do better? You're probably going to say the second athlete. So you can do those things. Now, obviously, all those things are going to be in the form of back testing, following your plan, right risk management, right education, investing in your education. So that's the way you got to see it. But the more you can stack the odds in your favor, the more you get there faster, and the more you just have a chance of getting there. And I seen traders that were in points where like, I'm ready to give up, flip it around in 6 months or less, sometimes even 3 months, sometimes even the next month they make big changes when they make that switch in their head. Because the truth is, what's going on in your head is really what's going to dictate the path that you take. If you're already given up on yourself and you're not doing all the things I just mentioned, it doesn't matter what I tell you. It doesn't matter you watch a motivational video right now, you're already given up on yourself. But I'm hoping that you're watching this, you're motivating yourself, and you're learning to get better. Hope you are not too far gone. It's like, I already give up, right? And that was me with other things in life. It's like, I'm giving up. I'm not even gonna put in the extra hours. I'm not even gonna watch YouTube videos. I'm not gonna show up every morning and do this. But if you're watching this, I'm hoping it's not. Now, these motivational videos where I can tell you my stories, things that I learned, students, thousands of students I've taught around the world, see what worked and didn't work, they're only 10%. They're only gonna give you that little extra, that spark plug to just get you a little motivated. It's gonna give you, with a car, the battery dies, and then you put the things on top, and then you do the electricity and the shock, and then the car turns on. If the battery still is dead inside that car, yeah, you got that spark, and it'll move for a little bit, but it'll just die out. It's only 10%. And I could be lying to you and telling you, hey, I'm giving you here a secret. Come join my mentorship. This is what I teach secrets. But the truth is, 90% is what you put in. I can only guide you to it. I can't force you to do anything. All the students I've taught have gotten the same education. But why do some students go 7 figures, 6 figures, 5 figures, and some never make it? Now the odds are you're gonna make it, as I will say about 70% of our students are successful, but the 30% is people that just, no matter what I told them, they just would not listen. No matter what I would do, what secret I could teach them, my best strategy, my best mindset videos, spending time talking to them, reviewing their homework, they still weren't showing up to do anything. They still were wasting their days. They still weren't willing to put in the work. So make sure you're willing to put in the work, and if you're going to commit it, just do it. Because you don't have to. You can say, I don't want to put in the work. I don't want to do it, and it's fine. You can get a 9 to 5. Nobody. That's never going to be a problem. Getting a 9 to 5 is not a problem at all. It's really, really honorable to do. This is for people that don't want to do that. And obviously, if you want to do something that's different than 9 to 5 and harder, you have to expect to put in some work. Right? In life, there is not. You just win, win, win. You get a bunch of money for no work, no time. You just travel the world. If you want a bunch of money, travel the world, and free time, well, also you're gonna have some cons, which is it's gonna be hard. You have to invest in yourself. You have to show up every day and get better and learn. Maybe you have a job. Like I was working in the Army Reserve. I was working pretty much a part-time / full-time security job, and I was going to school full-time, and I was learning a trade. I didn't have a lot of time to go out to party. I mean, I still would once in a while, and you can reward yourself and take breaks once in life. Don't be crazy and just work only, because then you're gonna feel burnout. But you have to tell yourself, like, yes, you have the time. And I talked to these guys, I talked to some of the students or whatever, and they're like, oh, Antonio, I just don't have time for it. And I'm like, yes, I know I made it now, but I have a kid, I have a family, I run my information business, I make social media content, I trade, I go to the gym full time, and I'm 10% body fat, 6'2", right? Like, I'm doing all these things every day. I compartmentalize my day. I don't even know if that's a word, but you guys know, compartmentalize. I don't know, leave it in the comments how to spell it. And if I have time to still do all those things and still travel, like, sure, now I made it, but like, compared to a guy that goes to school, I know you have the right time. It's just like the choices that you want to make. Do you want to make the right choices? Do you not want to make the right choices? Do you want to give it your all? Do you not want to give it your all? That's what it comes down to. It's all choices. Every day you wake up, you have choices to do anything you want. That's the beautiful thing about life. Living in America, we all free, right? And it's up to you to pick the choices that you want. Average 6 hours of sleep. You don't need 8 hours. At least not for forever. At least you can give up some hours of sleep, give up some partying, give up some gaming, give up some Netflix, some movies, going out with girls. You don't need to do that. I wasn't really going out with girls for a while. Tell me my wife. Why? Because I was so locked in. Drink the energy drink. I don't care. Smoke that freaking cigarette if that is going to give you that bit of energy to finish the job. And they might say, Antonio, what are you saying? These are bad habits. You want to live super healthy life. No, your life is not always balanced perfectly. Sometimes your life is 90% of chaos, working really hard, drinking energy drinks, 4 or 5 hours of sleep a night, but you're making a ton of progress. And then sometimes your life is, you did all that work and now 90% is enjoying on a trip. You're getting 8 hours of sleep, massages, eating healthy. And that's how you balance. It doesn't always have to be perfect all the time because life is not perfect. You're not perfect. I'm not perfect, just like trading. So do whatever it takes. Have the energy drink, extra coffee, who cares? You will be fine, I promise you. The reward at the end is totally worth it. Well, if you enjoyed this type of videos, let me know in the comments down below. And also, if you guys are watching this, hit the subscribe button. If you want to learn from me directly, one-on-one, I work with people one-on-one. Why? I don't sell you a course that you're going to watch and figure out on your own because people fail. But when I work with somebody one-on-one, I can guarantee success. That's why if you don't make $10,000 in 6 months or less, there is a guarantee there. Well, if you're interested in that, it will be the very first link down in the bio to work with me. If not, put a ton of free content out there. Watch it all. As always, I'll see you guys in the next video.